Hey everybody, wrong number. Sent you a message, bud. Thumbs up. Not trying to complain, but thumbs up. Anyway, Bitcoin about to break out. Dun, 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 dun. New member. Actually, you're just a subscriber. Border Collie. Welcome to the show. If you want to chat with me, click the button down over here. Be a subscriber on the channel. You can chat on the live stream. Channel members get priority on 30 Minutes of Awesome, like Goose and Rob and Brian, Arturo, Sergio, JB, Gary, Dan, Frank, Svenborn, Mad, David, Mark, Ted, Sledge. Good to see you, man. You back from San Fran yet? Ted, Darren, Cliff, David, Will. How's everybody doing? Good morning, Chris. Glad to see you. Well, it's a big list, but it's not as big as earlier in the week. We do have quite a big list, Sledge. So it is a bigger list. So, hey, Be Like Water. Good to have you. Dun, 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 dun. Whew, that's rough. I tell you, I don't like traveling in the middle of the night, but hey, whatever. I used to love traveling when I was younger. Now I like sleeping when it's the dark times, as Kimberly calls it. And let's see, corporate buybacks. I'm just chit-chatting with everybody. Golly, excuse me. Let's see. I found the chart I was talking about yesterday too. Goose was trying to give it to me while I was live, but it was the wrong chart. For housing, well, I'll show it to you here in a second. And all right, cool. There's all sorts of pop-ups going on. So we're sitting right in here roughly. The 20th Monday, right in there. We'll be in that blackout window, and then we'll quickly pop back out of it. Usually the buybacks, we spike, we get a lot of action. Like, looks like buybacks planned this year are expected to be. This is estimates, of course. They're estimating quite a bit more than we saw last year. That's kind of exciting. That can drive the market higher. This is a quarterly cycle. We go into a blackout and then we pop back out. And we do it again and again and again. So this will kind of be pent up buying demand. Look at that, 55 billion flowing into the market. This is kind of like on a daily basis too. So right now we're pretty much at zero. So we're not seeing any corporate buyback. We're seeing hedge funds at the liquidation, the biggest liquidation they've had lately. So this will probably persist through the end of the month, and then we'll quickly come back out of this. So be careful. Remember, today is an OPEX. First monthly OPEX of the month. What does that mean? It means a big chunk of options are expiring, kind of frees things up to potentially move. But next week we have a holiday on Monday. Dun, 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 dun. Markets close Monday, but I will be live for a crypto session. Make sure you set your reminder. Come visit me. We'll do crypto, dive in, take a look, go into more depth. Last week, when the market was closed for Jimmy Carter, we kind of dove through crypto. And if you got questions about how that all works, come see me. Look at this. Can we hold it? NASDAQ couldn't hold on to it yesterday, but trying again this morning right there with 300 point up. Trying again. Can we stick it today? Yeah, boy, that looked ugly. That looked really ugly on the restart. I was nervous. But this is looking pretty good. We do have that 618 level we're going to have to contend with right up in there. Going to have to get through it to signal we're going on up. Be careful. That's what I got to say. I mean, gosh, this is dangerous right here. Super dangerous. Can we break out? Are we going to break down? All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results just because I get it right in the past. I've gotten a lot right in the past. I get lucky a lot. I mean, and as I posted in Discord, it's not, you shouldn't call it luck necessarily. I just failed a whole lot of times, probably more than you've even tried, and finally figured out some stuff that works. So this presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument. What does that mean? It means don't buy stocks, don't buy options, don't buy Forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them, don't buy bonds. I mean, just, there's a substantial risk of loss. So when you trade that stuff, what does trading mean? It means buying and selling. You buy it, you long it, you sell it, you short it, don't buy it and sell it. Substantial risk of loss. If you need somebody to tell you what buttons to push, hey, JT, just tell me what to buy so I can make some money. That's not what I do here. I point out stuff. I point out opportunities. I point out high probability patterns. I get lucky a lot on it. It's not luck. But if you need somebody to tell you what to do, how to do it, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor. All right? Everybody cool? Like I said, today, kind of benign, kind of boring. We had the housing numbers come in. A little better than, got a little, looks like people optimistic getting a few more housing units started. I was talking about housing yesterday. Like I said, I was talking about those spec houses. Look at this chart right here. I'll pull over. Look at this right here. Oh man, I'm not even sharing the chart. There we go. Look at that chart right there. Holy moly. Holy moly. Yeah, I couldn't even see you guys. This was the buybacks right here. Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Yeah, I can, sometimes when I close the screen share, I can't see sugar. So, anyway. Sorry about that. So there's the corporate buybacks. Nil. Then we get these 55 billion spikes. Here's the home builder specs. 124,000. 124,000 spec houses sitting there unsold. That's rare. Not really a housing shortage if you got 124,000 unsold houses. So be careful out there. Nancy, thanks for being a channel member. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right. Building permits right there. Yesterday, kind of benign. Today, a little spicy. In queue, attempting the breakouts. Yesterday, that had me worried. Definitely concerned at the close. And then the restart with a gap down. Oh, man, that had me really concerned. We were going to go. Whew. Now, can we hold? Can we stick the breakout? Can we stick it? Big question. Bitcoin. Can we stick it? 105 is my level. Got to get above 105. Then we're probably going to come up here. Right in this 115, 120,000 area. When we get up in here, when? I don't think it's an if. I think it's a when we get up there. Miners are probably going to get really spicy. So, somewhere right up in there. We'll see what happens. Alrighty. S&P still has a ways to go to the breakout. Yesterday was not the most awesome. This could still go down while the NASDAQ went up. That'd be a wild one, wouldn't it? This went down and the NASDAQ broke higher. Doesn't seem logical. But on ES, we're trying to break out. So futures may tell the story better than the cash index. Why do I use futures? Never been here before. There's very little gaps. We don't usually make gaps on the futures. The cash index, on the other hand, it leaves gappy stuff all over the place. What do gaps represent? Missing information. All right. Futures trade they trade 6 days a week. Saturday's the only day they're closed and don't trade at all. If you're like, wait, the market's open on Sunday? Yeah, market's open on Sunday. Look at the overnight price action here. That was a pretty gnarly pullback right there off of that. That price action made me nervous. I have to admit, I was nervous about that. I did not like that choppy overlapping stuff right there. I was very concerned. Very, very concerned. But turns out we just came down, bounced off the 15-minute, and now we're shooting through. Now, there is a high likelihood. Jump it back up to the daily. Zoom this up so I can demonstrate. There's a high likelihood that we're going to come up here, retrace. That would be the buy point. High likelihood we're going to retrace that. Now, does it have to? No. Is it one of the smoking hot patterns that leads to big upside? Yeah. I mean, for those of you that have been around, you probably remember back down here in 2022, we had this big downtrend of highs cooking. We moved up, we bounced down, came up through, retested. That was it. That was it right there. Look at that. Look if you gotten in at 3,900. Where would you be right now? 6,000. Look at that. 2,000 points. Holy moly. That's a strong rally. So we're seeing that same thing on the smaller, little bitty time frame kind of picture. We look at the same sort of situation we got cooking right now. See that? See it bounce down, break through, come back. We do this, do that. Beautiful potential right there, if we do it. Does it have to? No, it never has to do anything, all right? Get that through your mind. Yeah, that one even did kind of the same sort of thing. Look at that. Bounce down, break through, probably come back. I mean, it's a classic breakout kind of pattern here. If we get that pullback and we hold it, buying opportunity. Gold here kind of even did the same sort of thing. Look, coming back for the test. Look at that. Gold might be about to rip. It might be starting to rip. Beautiful potential. Now, trend lines are the least reliable of technical indicators. Please be careful. They're very subjective where you put them. That's only 2 highs compared to ES's several highs, right? Dun, 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 dun. There you go. Bitcoin. That one may do, that 105 is kind of my level. We need to not just poke above it. It's not just like, oh, it moved through 105. And then, so we may see some kind of spike up through 105 and then a retrace, violent retrace. Hold that downtrend of low highs, can't even say the right word. Downtrend of highs, hold in there and bounce. Setting up all the way across, so watch out. Russell, different path though. Got something different cooking here. Although that was a downtrend of highs. That price action is different. Very different. Okay. We rode the trend line right there and then dropped away right down to the roadmap line. Went a little deeper, popping up. Significant resistance right here. Right here. Around 2350, 2400 maybe. If we get above, if we can sustain a move above that, more than just a spike. We're not looking for just a spike here. We need a move above it. Fill that candle in. Nice candle close up here. Then we can be talking about extending higher, 2500 possibly, maybe something bigger. But if we reject off of that, probably going down near 2000 on Russell. This has that pattern, all right? This one big rip right down there. Be careful, all right? Dun, 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 dun. David's buying a buffet. CO. Remember that trend line? Now, this one different, right? Long-term downtrend highs, but we didn't do the bounce off the trend line. We just poked right on through. Retesting. If we can hold it, break back higher, probably going up to 90 at least. So this is important. This one needs to hold. Now it did that bounce right down here. See this one right here? We were downtrending highs. Is just a much smaller time frame, couple months. Bounced down, popped up through. Didn't back test. Didn't come down and back test. Interesting. Right? We stopped at the roadmap line here. Found support. Pushed on up through the bigger downtrend of highs. And maybe that one's accurate. Maybe I'm off slightly. Maybe possibly it should be up here just a little bit. And now's what we're doing. Now we're maybe if you scrape the very tippity toppity highs. That's why they're subjective, right? Like, where does it go? I like to connect most of the tops, but maybe it should just be the tippity tops. Now we're back testing it. I mean, yeah. Now we're testing it, backing off, bust through, retest. Maybe that's that's why it's subjective, right? Like this, it's kind of art, more art than science. Like, where does everything go? What looks the best? You do the best job you can, all right? There's no definitive, like, the line goes here. It's not the way this works. Subjective. It's all subjective, all right? I wish it were easier than that, but it's not. And that's when you figure out it's all kind of loosey-goosey, and it's kind of probabilities and most likely scenarios, you start doing a lot better in the market, and quit paying attention to what the mainstream media says and why everybody says oil's going up or gold's going down, or just quit paying attention to all that crap, all right? Just watch the chart. The chart tells you where it's going to go, at least, where it's likely to go. This might come back down here. If that little bit higher trend line's in the right spot, we might back test that roadmap line one more time. Break out, back test, and go higher. 90, and then above 90 is 105. I do have a bullish position on oil. Got some bullish position on gold. Got a heck of a position on Bitcoin. Well into the six figures. Ethereum, this one's not playing. You see how this chart's much different, right? That something's up. Till we get above this, and really we need to be above this. This is not even made a higher high. Not even close. Look. The highest high is all the way up here. Right at 5,000. This like double topped at a lower high. That's not good. If this is going to be bullish, be very careful there. Very, very careful there. Chasing Ethereum. I don't like that chart pattern. Been doing this long enough. Something's not right. Dollar just consolidating in the zone. It looks like I said yesterday, we may just do another ripple there. Another one of these little echoes. And pushing on up into this 111 area. If we can get above 111, we could possibly talk about going higher. Just doesn't seem like the likely scenario with the way this has come up into that 111 area. This looks like a big corrective move. And this is looking like a finishing move of the correction. First move down. Second wave just kind of blasé, choppy. Third move coming up. that the way it's going to work? Not sure. Not sure. Not sure. So this looks like a... So this looks like a correction and a correction, right? This had the first move down. This looks like the first move of the move up, second move of the move up, third move of the move up, and then continuation lower for a bigger correction. That's what that looks like to me. So that looks like the A wave, and then this is the A wave of the B wave, the B wave of the B wave, the C wave of the B wave, and then we need a C that flushes this all out. That's what it looks like to me. We need $1. But it doesn't have to. I mean, it could, like, that could be done and we just break on out. But that's not, that price action is weird. That's what I would say. And we're not out of the resistance zone yet. Nike is not indicating anything. Like I said, we probably just ride sideways. That's what we're doing so far, just riding sideways. I need to check on something really quickly. Yeah, wow. That's ripping. Dun, 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 dun. So the list was pretty long today. I go pull everything moving $2 or more up, put it on the gainers list, $2 or more down, put it on the decliners list, which is relatively short. Then at the end, I'm going to pull up. I didn't pick a bonus trade yet, so I'm going to pull up the list that was generated last night, and we'll look through it and see if we can find something that's interesting. How's that sound for everybody? Sound like something? I mean, I did that yesterday, and people seem to like it. Trying to make a trade here really quickly. I did something that I needed to undo today. So give me 1 minute here. I added a little piece of protection, just a very baby protection piece that since I was concerned with that price action yesterday right into the close, and I just need to redo something. And I need to see something else here. Yeah. I need to switch accounts and make one more trade. There we go. All right. Done with that. Sign outs. All right. So, yes, thank you. One person. Thanks, everybody. I love you too. All right. FNGU. Right there. If we break out. Look at that. I put that target on there as a potential bounce point. Breakouts. Targets up here. 713, 730. Would be pretty good. You know, just hitting the other ones. The other leverage. TQQQ. Almost an entry for the bounce. Although retracing a little bit this morning here. If we break above that, highly likely we're going higher right there. That'd be a pretty nice one. It's not fired off yet. Could you buy yet? Yeah, you can buy now. There you go. That's on the list down there. SPXL, let's check that one. Oh, getting close there too. That one's still a little shy of the downtrend. And the 618, look at that, comes up at the same spot. So, even though ES and NQ came up shy of the daily roadmap line, this is like everybody's like, well, you said it was going to hit the daily. I said it was likely to hit the daily. But it turns out it's a 4-hour bounce. Like when you load up the 4-hour, we went a little deep. But it turns out it's a 4-hour bounce. Got really close to the, really freaking close. Was that close enough? Not sure. I haven't figured out what close enough is at this point. NQ though held that breakout. NQ held the breakout. It tried, held that breakout. I was very clear. If we get below that, probably going down here, but it didn't. It held on for dear life right there. But the leverage TQQQ hit. Four-hour line. Load, please. It kind of smeared it up. Now running. So you got to be careful. Like and you got to flip on presentation of new information. It's like this one right here. I'm pretty confident that we're going down here. At least that would clean up all this price action. But if we start getting above here, then we're probably going right up here. At least. And then turning down. So you got to keep the bigger picture in mind there. Got to keep the bigger picture in mind. If I say something that's cool, helpful, beneficial, like I said in the chat there, give me a like. Give me a like on the video. Interact. Chat. Let me know. Feedback is beneficial. I make the show better and better with feedback. If there's no feedback, I don't know. MSTR. Like I said, that could have been done. I'm still very concerned. We came up shy of the roadmap line. If Bitcoin's going to stick this breakout, upside targets 597, 646, possibly 1,000. That's the big target that's just hanging out right up in there. 1,000. Wouldn't that be a trip? That'd be a trip and a half. Oops. Got those out of order. My finger's not going in the right order there. Cool. It's gonna just stop. I love it. I guess 9,000 people using trading. Probably 900,000 people using TradingView at the same time, and it's slow in the mornings. That's a breakout right there so far on MSTX. Potential targets up here around 3 to 400. That's not bad. 60 to 300. It's like a 5x. Not bad. Not bad. All right, let's get back on the list. It's a long list. Nucleus. Stay the fudge away from that. That's a reverse split. That is a dumpster fire all day long. Be careful. You can trade it if you want to. I'm not. It's not for me. Not for me. Reverse splits, danger. That price action. I'll just flip back real quick. That price action. Danger, 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 danger. You can get yourself into that and lose half your money, 3/4 your money, 90% of your money, and just be back down here tomorrow, and you lost from $30 a share. I mean, gotta be careful. Coin. Was that close enough? I don't know. Connell indicates it might have been deep enough. Break back above this level right here. Sometimes the leverage chart, which is what this is, 2x leverage on coin. Sometimes the leverage chart kind of tells the story. This looks like it could be complete. That's kind of like when I was looking at TQQQ. It looks like the retrace is complete. We hit the daily. Bouncing back up. We can close above. Rock and roll, baby. I don't know. Never know for sure. Like, you just have to look at you put the pros and cons columns out there, you kind of read the tea leaves and try to make your best guess. Make a theory, and when you're in the face of new information, you got to change it up. All right? It's like that could have confirmed that NQ was done. And when even QQQ held the breakout right there. Didn't get below it. I was saying, if we can get the daily close below it, 90% likely we're going to touch. We didn't do that. Now, it's trying. Like I said, can we stick it? Can we stick the breakout? It's retracing a little bit. Can we stick the breakout? That's kind of like everything hinges on sticking the breakout here. For ES, NQ, and like I said, we may rally up here just a little bit and freak everybody out before we can go higher. I keep reiterating that because I've seen this a bunch of times. Like, that's one of my favorite breakout patterns. When it clearly does that, I love seeing that. That's why gold is kind of exciting to me right now. How would you play gold? You can play at GLD. You can play at UGLY. Or UGL, excuse me. But I can't not call it ugly. Beautiful breakout right there. Possibly going to that area right up there. Didn't hit the roadmap line. Left the downside undone. We're not higher. And this is the caution here on ugly. We're not higher than that little spike over there. That could be the first move down. 1, 2, 3. Next move up. And next move down. Still possible. So this trend line is going to be really important, especially on the GC chart. Bouncing around a lot because there's a lot of opportunity today. As Sledge said, there's a lot of tickers on the list. It's got me like, I'm all over the place. I love the days where there's lots of opportunities. But at the same time, I don't like them because then you got to pick. You can't trade everything. Don't spread yourself too thin. Downtrend of highs, I would expect a bigger retrace. Meta, I think it needs to come back down here. For any new setup for me, for any new longer term trade that doesn't negate triple threat or, Apollo short term trades, but I think we're probably set on a path to retrace here. Me and Meta don't get along. Like, I don't trade Meta because every time I try to trade Meta, I lose money. It's the way it works for me. CRM, probably coming back down here. It's kind of like the hot stove thing. If there's something you do that consistently loses you money, quit doing it. Write you a post-it note. Be like, don't do that thing that costs you money. Like Rongamer, expecting more downside. Calling you out, buddy. If you get the downside that you were expecting, just book the profit. QQQ, possibly. It's got to, we got to stick that breakout. Got to stick the breakout. It's 90% likely if we get below this. Why is it so heavy? That's the breakout. So far, we're holding the breakout. Look at that beautiful move right there. Goose was fascinated with this yesterday on another ticker. We come up, hit the 1448, retrace, hold the breakout, extend up, come back and retrace it again. Where's it likely to go next? On up here, 1618, 560. If we can hold on to that breakout. Next one up, climbing the fib ladder. See that price action all the time like this. For those of you that learned Fibonacci somewhere else, you're like, 1448, what the heck Fibonacci number is that? It's my own. It's something I came up with. Doing a lot of statistics on the market. It's not an actual fib number, but it is 90% of the 1272. I did a bunch of math and looked at a bunch of information I had on algorithms. Algorithms front run these fib levels sometimes. 90% of the way to the 1272 just happens to be a popular place for a lot of things to take profit. So I kind of shoot for that level. As Goose says, it's my truncation target. I ran thousands of back tests. What percentage? I actually just did it as a percentage of the 1272. What percentage of the 1272 gets hit more than, and makes it the highest probability without shrinking your profit substantially? The 100 Of course, that gets it way more often. And we stop right there a lot of times. But if we're going to get there, a lot of times we push on through. Get more profit targeting the 1448. And this is like 75% of the time. This one, 70% of the time. So you increase your odds 5%. This one chops down to like 40%. 40% likely. So keep it in mind when you're targeting upside. It works the same way on the downside. And I'm kind of saying that for wrong number two. Hopefully he heard me. Works on the downside too. You get that 1448, and then the probability starts dropping off. So MDB broke down. It's under the roadmap line. Even though it's on the gainers list, watch for more downside to come. Cuervo under the roadmap line. That's resistance. Big gap down is also resistance. A different Cuervo than the tequila brand. CrowdStrike. Boy, getting a lot of stuff popping off here. CrowdStrike just consolidating. Came up shy of the 441. And with the bounce we did down here, potential for this to extend on up to like 600. Tesla, if we can actually break out of this funk here. If we can actually get the heck out of here. 500, 600 upside targets. Getting close. That 618 level's right there though. 442. 3 move down. 1, 2. We need to push it on up through here, back test it, and keep going. That 618 level, important. In fact, it's important enough, I'm going to actually put my alert on here. Come on. There we go. Light. See, climbing the fib ladder. Look. Now, I know. It's like, wait, the 1448 not shown. Yeah, that's a relatively new fib line I put on here. Relatively new. See what happens here? Look. Little struggle. Bounce. Wing, ching, wing. And then consolidate. Probably going to pop that fib level 109. And watch out for the retrace. Now, could it keep going? 127 possible. 200, 265, 827. Those are the ones I pay attention to. If you want to know why, check out my fib class. Adobe got close, but probably has some more downside in store. Probably does. Maybe a lower low. It might be cooking on a lower low. That would look, this would be the absolute best setup right there. That move, give you opportunity, then we go higher. Lots of people are like, nope, Adobe's not dropping that much. Yeah, be careful. MAT. I'm not playing the downside. I don't usually play the downside. I just wait for the opportunity. Right? They don't have to go down. Nothing has to go down. And a lot of times it takes way longer than you can stay in the downside trade because the market prices in that downside. It makes it almost impossible to make money. I'd be like, oh, well, I know you could do a spread. You could do this. You could do that. You could. I'm telling you, the market makers, the people that know where it's likely to go next, they price that stuff out. So you just can't make good money doing it unless you're just absolutely right on the money, right on the time, right on the price, right on the everything. Now, the ones that present opportunity that nobody's pricing in, that's where you can make the big money. Like COVID, I made a crap ton of money because nobody was really expecting the market to plummet. Like I got into stuff, 20 cents that moved $20. So my 20 cent option went to $20. That was big money. And VIX and stuff like that did that too. Booked many trades to the upside on VIX. I was in and out, in and out, in and out. And I had to switch from the leveraged instruments to actual VIX because they priced it out. Like you could no longer trade VXX or UVXY or any of the leveraged VIX because they priced out the options. I had to go to VIX and I had to be exactly right. And I was right to the day on VIX options. It's the day after I sold out my big position, it all came apart. I don't think I've ever pulled up the spreadsheet on that during the live show. Let me see something. Let me see if I can find it here. I don't even know how long ago I pulled that up recently. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Nope. 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 Where was it? That's got to be more recent than that. There it is. Yeah, I went right over it. So look at this. Look at these trades. Like cost value, closed value. Dun, 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 dun. Was this a lot of trades? Yeah, look at how many trades that was. That was almost 50 trades right there. Cost me $146,000. Closed it for $670,000. Mom's account, dad's account, KT's account, JT's account. JT had a bunch of accounts. That one, $91,000 right there. $91,000. 91 for dad, 91 for mom. JT just 18. So that was pretty spicy. Anyway, gotta be careful. You gotta be exactly right on some of these stuff. So when you're playing the downside. Yeah, I mean, when we talk about me making a 1.4 million, it wasn't my money. It was mostly mom and dad's money, some my money, some Kimberly's money. Kimberly, my lovely wife. So, and it was all retirement accounts. So after COVID was done, I made the $1 million. Still just a regular working dude. Everybody's like, man, you set yourself up. Yeah. Set myself up for 30 years down the road. So ARQQ, quantum, be careful. That's right to the zone. Probably coming back down. Quantum's vaporware. It's vapor algorithms, vaporware, vapor everything. Like it's not, there's nothing real here yet. Breakthroughs, sure. Reality, it's like Jensen said last week. 15 years, probably optimistic. 20 years, probably about right. 30 years might be a little too conservative. Expecting it to be able to go. Yeah, Kimberly says I don't need another mom. You have to contend with Kimberly. Lulu, it looks like it wants to come back. We kind of tested the gap down. Double topped it right there, right there. Come back down, test the roadmap line. MSTX, like I said, if MSTR is going, 3, possibly 400 up there. PTIR. Gosh, man. PLTR needs a retrace. This has been rocking and rolling. That needs to retrace. You notice it's not quite participating like other stuff. Like, move right there. Yeah. You say passing a flash, but you know, hey, I have high hopes of living 300 or 400 years. So I know you can say it's not reality. I just kind of expect it though. My kids all think it's funny. I want to live 300 or 400 years. Think all the cool stuff you'd see. I've seen some amazing stuff already. We went from no internet to the internet, walking around with these things, cars that drive themselves. I can't imagine what's going to happen in the next 300 years. Net right there. Maybe they just, maybe they just upload me to an AI and I just keep going. Okay, that's acceptable too. So this level right here could result in a retrace. Be careful. Probably going to be some resistance there. It was resistance on the way up. Try to keep it, bounce, and broke down, retested. So there's going to be significant resistance right in that area. Be careful on net. AVGO. Watch for the retrace. SOXX. Really caution here. Really cautious. These semiconductor ETFs like SOXX, USD. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. These don't look right. And maybe it's NVIDIA topping out. Something just doesn't look right. Be careful on that. SMH even, something's not right. Snow at that resistance level. Watch for the retrace to the roadmap line. If we do that, that's the opportunity to buy. If we can hold it and turn back higher. Could that have been it? Might that have been it? Might that have been all the retrace we get? Maybe. If we break out above the high right here, we do have that gap down to contend with. We're going to have to get through this gap down. Oops. Remove my drawing tool. Gonna have to get through that gap down right there in order to go higher. Significant resistance right there. If you've never heard my theories on gap downs, well, gap downs are resistance. Gap ups don't matter. Gap downs matter. Stick around. We'll cover it again soon, I'm sure. Flutter Entertainment, resistance at the 618, and probably going for the roadmap line, TECL. News doesn't matter, Ellen. News doesn't matter. Bull 3X on technology. Can we hold it? Now that chart does not look like virtually any other technology. You know, QQQ, TQQQ. This chart looks totally different. So something else is going on here. Looks like it's heavily into semiconductors is what that looks like. Because that looks a lot like the semiconductor ETFs. DPST. Potential bounce there. Break above that 618. We can look for the upside. That's 3X on banks. I said banks might be a play based on these charts right here. Based on DPST and FAS. Golly, my nose itchy. It looked like banks were going to bounce on earnings, which that's going to signal the breakout on FAS at the close today. 192 potential upside. Nail, getting a little reprieve, but that's still bearish. And if we hold this area right in here at 106, and as high as like 112, if we hold that area right here, turn down, make that lower low. Let's see, run that fib line. And if we do, so if we do this, if we rally up to that level, down to that level, this sets up a potential bigger. How do I get all the fib lines on the chart? Doing this. Bigger bounce, same area. Same vicinity. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will probably do 1, 2, 3. Same vicinity right there. And then we'll probably go down more. Something like that. That's the potential we have cooking on nail right now. Be careful out there. All right. FTAI. If it can hold that and bounce, possible to go higher. Not a fan of that pattern, but there's the resistance right there. Watch for it. Another drop. This is a wicked candle right there. Rejecting, but is it just hovering and then we go down again? TXN. Back tested the roadmap line. Continuation lower. Be careful. Something's up in semiconductors. May just be falling out of favor. I mean, it may just be sector rotation, and that's what's up. Like when you look at these, something's up. Like SMH, semiconductor, something's up. SOXX, hang on. I keep typing my right hand keeps getting above in front of the left hand. Right finger keeps getting in front of the left finger. Yeah, hung up. Cool. SOXX. Something's up. Something's up. What's up? Not sure. Something's up in semiconductors. And like I said, it may just be sector rotation. Like that's like played out. And I saw on Twitter last night, it's like, name the best sector in the market last year. 90% of people said AI. And guess what? There were 2 sectors that were better than AI. Anybody name them? I'll talk for a minute and then I'll tell you. 2 sectors were better than AI. Semiconductors is the same as AI. So it's not like AI plays semiconductors. So 2 sectors better than semiconductors. 1 GLP drugs. Dun, 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 dun. SPXL. If we can break out, going higher. Watch for the drop. Amazon. I'll give you a minute. Make your guesses. 2 sectors. 1 I don't really talk about at all. The other I talk about a lot. So Amazon. Probably going to retrace. Reddit. This could just be consolidating and pop again, but it might retrace back to the roadmap line. Doesn't really have long history. That roadmap line is only like 2 months long. Careful. CLS. I wrote it in the chat, comic. Questions written in the chat. CLS, potential to retrace. TQQQ. If we can break above the 618, it kicks off the entry. Connell. If we can get above the 618, kicks off the entry. ZS. Sitting here. Cold. Whew. Ultra short natural gas. What's natural gas doing? Just hovering. Ultra short getting ripped. Probably like this is probably coming back down, but like I said, they make the shorts really hard to play. Dun, 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 dun. Two sectors outperformed AI, which is semiconductors. QCOM, resistance up here, support down here. We're sideways. QQQM, NASDAQ, if we break out, going higher. So far, the QQQ kind of respecting that downtrend. So far. This breaks higher, we're probably going up to 230. There's a cheaper way to play QQQ. QLD, Ultra QQQ. Another way to play QQQ. This one will probably be heading up to 136. Apple. Ooh, Apple coming back for the roadmap line. Get really close. Really close. That's why I say don't. That one missed the 1618, right? It doesn't have to hit the 1618. This is why 1448, highly likely. Can you hold on for the 1272? Sure. Should you hold on for the 1618? Probably not. Probably not. We miss often enough. RIOX. What the heck? A 2x on Riot. 2x on Riot. Man, that's interesting. Riot's actually got the... Riot went from being the worst chart to one of the best looking miner charts right now. This is probably going to rock and roll up here. Target somewhere right up here around 24 to 28. JBL. That's coming on up. 168. D-Dog. Coming on down. Roadmap line. Google. I don't see any... No, so far... I'll just give you a hint. So far, people have got one of them, but nobody has guessed the second one. People got one of them that I talk about all the time. Nobody has the one that I don't talk about. That performed better than semiconductors last year. Better than AI. Google might be, like, we're holding the breakout. We could push on up to the 1272. BitU. We might be done on Bitcoin. SMTC. Next fib line up, 91. BitX. Might be done. If we can stick the breakout. It's coming on up to 120 area possible. 80. We already touched the 1448. Retraced almost to the roadmap line. This could be a power move. This one has the potential to really get going. LRCX. Google just consolidating. NVIDIA. So the two. All right. It seems everybody's having a lot of trouble. So crypto and related mining companies, crypto related companies like MSTR, MSTX, all that sort of stuff. So that was one. Pretty easy, right? We already knew crypto was a giant performer in 2024. The other one that I don't really talk about, cruise ship companies. Cruise ship companies. The cruise industry way outperformed AI. Pretty wild, huh? Yeah, GLP-1 drugs all started pulling back. Yeah, that wrecked the performance there toward the end of the year. But dang, I keep hitting like fat fingers today. Just can't get it together. Dun, 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 dun. Cool. Stuck. Gosh, love it, man. I'm gonna have to. I don't know what's going on with this computer. I don't know if it's the internet. I don't know what is going on today. And Chrome is eating the processor. Let's kill it. Let's restart it. Dun, 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 dun. Hopefully this doesn't give away all my personal information. Oh, that was cool. Not what I was trying to do. RCL, Royal Caribbean. This was a big performer last year. Look at this. January. All the way out to December. 100%, pretty much. Absolute insane. Absolute insanity. Yeah. So it's kind of wild. Like nobody really expecting cruise ships. So how do you kind of keep up with this stuff? Check out this. You can look at sector performance and stuff like that on here. Dun, 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 dun. You can just pull up. What do you want to look at? S&P. Go see what's performing so far this year. Performance year to date. Here's your best companies over here. Group by sector. Look at that. Financials performing this year. Interesting, right? Equal size them. Miscellaneous. TPL. So this is a good place to go hunt for opportunities. What's performing? Look at it. Consumer services. Royal Caribbean. That one. Rock and roll, baby. But here's the thing. Sector performance, usually we don't see back-to-back sectors outperforming. So be careful chasing sector performance because next year, the top performing sectors, this year, 2025, top performing sectors for 2024, not likely to be the top performing sectors in 2025. NVDU. That's a warning. RKB. Watch for the drop. Right back here. But that's Bitcoin. If we're going to break out, rock and roll, baby. Marvell. Consolidating. Roadmap line would be where I would expect, but it can go on higher. 180, 177, 170, 180. FSLR still under the roadmap line. Watch for the drop. Man, this thing's still being slow. Of course, this is coming from the server, so server is definitely being slow today. Everybody hyped up on the potential breakout. USD, sideways. I keep talking about these semiconductors. VRT, watch for the drop to the roadmap line. Oracle, on the roadmap line. If we can break above, we got the gap down to contend with. LABU, this looks like it's going to flush. Probably going to go lower low. That thing is a dumpster fire chart on the long term. Be careful. Biotech. XBH. Yeah, XBI. That's it. That one's more reliable than the LABU, but that still looks like we're going to go lower. Go retest the bottom. NVIDIA, be careful. It's at the bottom of the gainers list. Something's up. I'm telling you. Something's up. Might be seeing some rotation out of NVIDIA. Now, they announced giant buybacks. They'll probably push it to new highs. So watch for what happens. Now, their earnings are way over here in February. So they'll be entering. They're not in the Buyback Blackout yet, but they're going to be probably next week. They will be for a month or so, and then they'll come back out. CRDO, that looks played out to the upside. Decliners, JB Hunt, chopping sideways. Not a performer in 24. or 23 or 22 or 21. Came ripping out of COVID and just consolidating. Now, this might be indicating the potential for transportation of goods, logistics to start performing again. Might, if you're trying to read the tea leaves. 3-year, 3.5-year consolidation, almost a 4-year consolidation. That could start popping again. Oil, right up into the roadmap line. Watch for this to retrace. This is a dumpster fire chart, VST. Watch for that to retrace. NVO, continuing to drop. May need to go down here. That's, wow. See, when you say GLP-1 drugs for 2024, look at this. Right here. Over to the beginning. Look at that. 0%. GLP-1 drug, NVO, round tripped it. It did perform, and then it took it all back by the end of the year. That's why GLP-1 drugs wasn't a performer in 2024. Lilly almost round tripped it too. Look at that. Beginning of the year, right there. November. We right. Only 24%. Ugh. Not a big performer. Hey, thank you, Pauline. Thank you for being a channel member. FAST, Fastenal. Potential bounce here. Now, these construction is a big industry for Fastenal. There are fasteners, screws, bolts, nuts, nails. Fasten all. Fasten it. We fasten all the things. So Fastenal. Potential resistance right there. Upside potential there. If we turn down, potential down, back down in here. STT. I'd expect that to drop to the roadmap line. And as promised. Dun, 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 dun. Let's pull up Discord. Go through the daily setups. We gotta find it first. Oh, it's hidden. Marcus Red. Roll to the bottom. Pull it over. So here's the list. Remember, yesterday, it runs at, after the market closes, it runs every day. Here's the list for today. So rolling up through here. Oh, man. May not go any higher. Look at that. WWD. That's a beautiful pattern, too. Look, Skags, I know you're here. See how this nice uptrend? It's not giant. It's not steep. That price way up there, just touching, kind of double bouncing. That is a really nice pattern. 28 trades. That's almost statistically significant. Look at that profit. 18 bucks. That's a pretty fair size. That's basically 10% upside. Man, that's a pretty smoking one. I may not look through the rest of the list. Let's just go look at that chart. WWD. Oop, I got a WWD right here. Wow, that's a nice. I like that pattern. This one looks pretty smoking right here. That high, that low. Kicked it off right there yesterday. Maybe like, how do you know? What did that do? What the heck? See, there's the entry right there. Kicked it off. Boom. Right there is the buy. Here's the target up here. 206.87 is the official target. Right there. Be like, how do you play it? Let's check it out. No options. So this is a shares only type of deal for 10% gain. Might be tied up 30 days on average, 30 trading days. right there, 30 trading days on average. Could go twice as long, could go 60 trading days. Remember, trading days are not calendar days. Use the tool right here, this tool. Thank you, John and J&J. This tool right here, the date and price range tool. Find it on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth button down. Just making sure. Date and price range tool right there behind me. On the other side. Oops. There we go. Put me on the other side. Yeah, date and price range tool down here. Fifth button down. Oh, I probably have it cut off the screen there. Yeah, date and price range tool. So, how do you know? How can you estimate time? You can go like this. 30 bars. That's 45 days in the market. If it takes 60 days, that's 88 days. Calendar days. All right. Why? Candle maker's not open on the weekend. So now, if 10% upside, that's not no good for you, don't take it. I'm not telling you to take it. Stop, dollar below the low. Take the low right there. Take $1 off. Put your stop there. So there's the target. There's the stop. That's the trade. See how the price action has been really positive, David? Look, uptrend, solid. Most of the price action above the roadmap line. When we did get below it, quickly came back above. Rode, popped away, came back, bounced. That's positive. That's positive. Cha-ching. Positive price action. I like that. Like that indicates we're likely to hit the target. Then 85% in the history, we've hit the target 28 times, 2.5 profit factor. That's a better potential trade right there. I may buy a few shares just to see if that 10% works out. Maybe like, can't make any money, 10%. Hey, the market makes 10% a year, and this might make 10% in 30 days. That gives you plenty of other time, opportunity to keep making money. Now, could it fail? Sure, it can fail. So, all right. So trading view is not comprehensive, even though you may have options, but trading view doesn't list options for WWD. So yeah, you got some monthlies. So they're not listed on trading view. So if you're gonna do it, you need probably till April or June would be my guess. If you're gonna do options. And the options may be illiquid. So be careful there too. All right. Bias for the day. The big thing we need to do today is hold this freaking breakout. That's the big thing. Hold the breakout. Can we hold the breakout? Gotta hold it. Can't get back below that. If we do, it's danger time. Danger, danger, danger. So bias for the day is up, but we may come back and retest one of these lower time frame roadmap lines again. 15 and the 30, almost in the same spot. So watch out for that. And be careful out there. The account you save may be your own. If we drop back to there, we're below the breakout line. So I'll be back again with you on Monday. Same bad time, same bad channel, 9:15. We'll do it all over again, hunting for awesome trades and setups and what's moving in the market. Monday will be crypto since the regular market is closed. All right. Then Tuesday we'll hit it again.